So, picture this. You were born into this world, and the first thing you do is to become a politician. That's a big mistake right there, only. What the f were you thinking? Then, you become Prime Minister, and then you decide to exclude the royal family from power, which made half of your country upset. Okay, whatever, typical politician stuff. But then, your country gets invaded, your country got absolutely cooked, and oh, would you look at that, you yourself got cooked. Wait, what? So, in this video, we're going to talk about Johann the Vid. The Prime Minister so hated, he was eaten. And yeah, that's enough of the intro, let's begin. Our story begins in the mythical lands of the Netherlands. Born on the 24th of September of 1625 at Dordrecht, Johann de Vid was a part of the influential De Vid family, and his father, Jacob de Vid, was a notable figure in Dutch politics and a staunch Republican. No, not that Republican. As such, Johann and his brother, Cornelis, lived a pretty privileged life, and both of them attended Latin school in Dordrecht. After attending Latin school, Johann would go on to study at Leiden University, where he excelled in mathematics and law, and in 1645, he received his doctorate from the University of Angers. If you don't know what a doctorate is, it's a degree like the Celsius or Fahrenheit. Now, at the time, the Dutch Republic was divided by two main political groups, the Statists, who favored a republic, and the Oranges, who favored a monarchy under the royal family, the House of Orange. Like his father, Johann was a staunch Republican and opposed the Oranges. Oh, how did this happen? Well, in summary, the stadtholder, William II of Orange, tried to take over Amsterdam and arrested Johann's father, Jacob. But then, he dies, and Jacob was free to go. It turns out William's son was still a f***ing infant, and so the Statists took over and said, "Nah, no more stadtholder." And that's why there's this situation, and also why after this was the first stadtholder's period. And Johann quickly became the leading figure during this period, especially after he was elected to become Grand Pensionary in 1653. And with no stadtholder stopping him, Johann became the de facto leader of the Dutch Republic, and so he was the Prime Minister of some sort. Now at the time, the Dutch was at war with England because the Dutch were very rich, mostly because of the spice trade. And as you all know, war is bad for the economy. And the Dutch don't want to be not rich, and Johann definitely knew this, and so he sought to avoid a war at all costs. As such, Johann made peace with the English, who was at the time under Oliver Cromwell, that guy you've probably heard before. So anyways, after the war, the Dutch Republic grew in wealth and influence, and with this, Johann de Vid then created a strong navy to firstly counteract the English just in case, and secondly to ensure the protection of Dutch merchant ships. Then in 1658, Oliver Cromwell, who we've just talked about, suddenly struck a disease called death. And afterwards, the English monarchy was restored under King Charles II. And relations between the Dutch and the English took a night-cold chicken, and war was yet again declared. This time, however, the Dutch absolutely dunked the English, who was conveniently also placing a plague and a fire. And so, in 1667, the English decided to call it quits with the Dutch. And with the English threat gone for now, Johann can finally work on his project called the Seclusion Act. This act would bar Prince William II and the House of Orange from ever becoming stadtholder ever again, which would effectively mean the Dutch will be a republic forever. However, unsurprisingly, this did not go well with the Oranges, which is like half of all Dutch people. However, it wouldn't be until 1672 that things took a U-turn for Johann. On that year, the French, the English, and the German cities of Münster and Cologne invaded the Dutch Republic, and to summarize, things went badly for the Dutch. Very badly. In fact, this event has a name in Dutch, Rampjaar, which translates to, oh yeah, it's that year. And with the Rampjaar being such a disaster for the Dutch, there was only one person to blame. You know, I don't want to deal with this no more, and so I resigned as Grand Pensionary. But his resignation wasn't enough, and when Johann's brother Cornelis got arrested and Johann came to visit him, surprise, there was a mob waiting for him. Absolute cinema. And so, Johann and Cornelis were both shot, stripped naked, hung upside down, and cut up to be eaten. Well, mostly their livers were cut up to be eaten. And after whatever the happened, power would once again return to the Oranges, and King William III would become stadtholder. And about that Rampjaar thing, yeah, that would be over by 1678, when France stopped fighting the Dutch. So, more of the story, if you ever become Prime Minister, just be careful not to get eaten. And with that, thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe, because I need 100 subscribers. Oh wait, I already have 100 subscribers? Thrice over? Well, okay then. And yeah, that's really it. Bye.